we've lost a bolt in the suspension. So our upper control arm bolt has worked its way loose. And so to get us out of where we are, we're going to have to jack it up and try and get that in place to get us to camp tonight. Fingers crossed, we'll see how we go. We might be camping here yet.
To be honest, not a bad spot if we do get stuck. This is total bush mechanics in action.
These things always got to happen as the sun is setting. But some insulation and cable ties fix everything.
At least that one was a quick fix too.
10 minutes and we're back on the road again. So we ended up putting some insulation tape around the end of the bolt and with a cable tie over the top, just to try and hold that bolt in place, and hopefully we can make it to our campsite tonight still. It seems to be driving all right at the moment, except for the kids haven't got their seatbelts on. Thanks, Matilda. And yeah, so hopefully we'll still make it to our campsite tonight. Hi, Neil and Dallas here, Black Stump Adventures. We're taking the year off to travel around Australia with our 3 kids. What are we, 12, 11 and 8?
Yep.
So I was pretty burnt out. Well, we were both pretty burnt out really. Agriculture is a pretty full-on sort of business, and after doing that for many years, we needed a break for our mental health, so we made the decision to travel around Australia for a year. We've sort of been putting the rig together for the last probably, well, since harvest time, so mid-January. Sort of working part-time on that, part-time still working, and then yeah, more and more we switched over to getting the rig ready to go, and then we left on Saturday amongst about 80 odd mil of rain we had overnight, and while we were trying to pack up and leave, so it was a great start to the season as far as farming goes, but yeah, we got very wet trying to pack up, and a lot of our gear got soaked through. So yeah, so we left about, packed all our gear in and left on the Saturday. Got going about 3 o'clock, hit the road, 3.5 hour trip to Perth. Stayed at my brother's place overnight, which was nice and warm and dry, and then on the Sunday we had a bunch of stuff to run around Perth and do, before then once again hitting the road. We didn't check out of Perth until about 6 o'clock, was it? And then made it to
East Adurian Bay.
Yeah, where Dallas found us a beautiful little camp spot up there, amongst the eucalypt trees, and nice little free camp for the night. So from there we sort of took it a bit easy in the morning, because our campsite was supposedly not going to be open because of Cyclone Narelle. They closed a lot of the national parks, and so it wasn't going to be open. But about halfway on our trip to Geraldton, which was about 11 o'clock, we got an email saying that they were actually opening up the national parks basically
Straight away.
straight away. So as of then, so we sort of had to put our skates on a bit. We got some extra supplies, some groceries, and a few other last minute fishing things in Geraldton, and hightailed it up here. So yeah, it was we sort of had to keep pressing on, but we pulled off the Denham Road onto the useless loop road at, what was that, about 5:30, and from there it's a 3-hour trip, which pretty well rang true, even though we did have a couple of unscheduled stops. Our front left suspension collapsed due to a nut rattling loose on it. So we managed to actually probably pretty efficiently get that bolt threaded back through. Of course, no nut on there, so we tried a bit of insulation tape and cable tie on the end of the bolt. That tended to worm its way through. Probably 10 k's later, and then we actually tried a different method, and that managed to hold out all the way in here. So probably the two stops combined, by the time we jacked it up, the two stops combined probably only cost us 15 minutes.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, so we're pretty efficient in getting back going. So once you hit the national park, you really know you're alive with some of the corrugations coming in. So some of them were massive, and they weren't sort of ones where you could hit them at speed and get up on top of. You just really had to just crawl over them. Often, we're below 20k an hour, just sort of bouncing over them. We probably averaged, 35 k's an hour. Didn't really measure it, but there was areas you could cruise along a bit better, but there was also tight, windy stuff. It wasn't necessarily rough, just tight and windy coming in. So it would have been a beautiful drive in the daylight. Unfortunately,
well and truly dark by the time we got to the good stuff.
Yeah. There's some nice big sand dunes to traverse and that sort of stuff. So, but we made it in here about that 8:30 at night, and then woke up this morning to some beautiful views. Today we've sort of been focusing on getting some schoolwork out of the road. The kids haven't done schoolwork in a week. They finished their public school a bit over a week ago, and so we started to get into the routine of a bit of schoolwork this morning. We then also had to start rearranging some stuff, drying some stuff out, and just trying to take it a little bit easy today. We're sort of through till after lunch now. We're just about to head out to Steep Point. It's one of the places we really want to visit. As we do our lap around this year, we really want to get to all the extremities of Australia. So hit the westmost point, hit the top of Cape York up there, the westmost point. They're near Bondi. Eastmost point, near Bondi Beach. And then it's a bit more of a battle, but eventually we'd actually like to try and get to the southernmost point of the Australian mainland. So we'll see how we go with them all, but hopefully this afternoon we can tick off that first one. So behind us, as you can probably maybe see it on behind us here, is actually Dirk-Hartog Island. It's somewhere where we've actually also toyed with going for a while. I was almost going to try and unload the boat and get over there, just so I could set my foot on there, but I think we'll save that for another time. We're just sort of more just wanting to get ourselves organised, and to unload the boat just for to drive over there and back seems like a bit much of an effort just at the moment. So we'll leave that on the bucket list for another time and try and do it properly and visit that one over there. So this afternoon we're going to try and head out to Steep Point and tick that box because been really looking forward to getting out there and seeing that. So stay tuned, and this is just the start of our adventures, and really looking forward to what unfolds and where we get to. So we've got a bit of a plan. We're going to tomorrow head back into Denham, just do a few more tidy up stuff on the rig while we're there. We've still got a bit of stuff to finish and fit out and all of that sort of stuff. Basically most of the stuff on it we've done ourselves, so it's still a bit of a work in progress, so we'll be able to tick a few more boxes in there, and then we're booked in to stay up in, what's the national park up there?
I think it's the Francois Peron. That's probably not how you say it, but that's
Francois Peron National Park. So we're up there to a campsite called Gregory's, which looks just beautiful. So
I'll be there for Easter, which will be great.
Yeah, so we'll have an Easter hunt on the beach, which will be really nice.
What is it, Link?
There's a heap of stickers from heaps of different.
Oh, do you want to sign the book?
Oh, there's even stickers in there.
So we've just come in the useless loop road after spending a couple of nights out at Steep Point. And what a place, it's such a nice place out there. It's pretty well encapsulates what Western Australia is, I suppose. Right out west there, it's rugged and hard to get to and in the middle of nowhere. What a stunning spot. So the kids spent the afternoon at Steep Point following around the caves and having a really great time exploring all through caves and bits and pieces in the limestone. We got to a spot there where the waves were coming in on the coastline and hitting some caves at the water level, and it was pretty cool seeing it spray all the water up like it did.
favourite part about Steep Point?
I liked that there were so much kids there and that we nearly caught a fish and we caught a tiny one.
I liked swimming with all the whitebait. Yeah, whitebait yesterday was so cool.
I quite liked the rugged coastline, all the caves in there. I loved how clear the water was and how, especially on the warm days that we had there, it was really nice to go for a swim, and I tested out my snorkel gear. Yeah,
Would you go back again?
Yes,
definitely.
totally.
Probably spend a weekend there sometime. Just go to the island. No show, just on the boat. Head over to the Hardog. Yeah.
It was everything. I loved the caves. And there was also some big fish which I loved. And at night there's like bunches of whitebaits just flying around, and that's how we caught one of them and used it as bait. But sadly we lost him.
Yeah, they're all jumping out of the water, weren't they?
Yeah, that was cool.
Hi guys, Neil here. We've been on the road again, so we found ourselves up near Point Peron. So we're at a campsite called Gregory's, which is just an absolutely beautiful spot. So behind me the kids are doing schoolwork and Dallas is doing a bit of office work. Yeah, this is the view from our campsite straight here onto the beach. So the beach is a little bit rocky, so the kids almost need their reef shoes on while they're playing. So we've got the tip of the tip comes around there, and there's actually a reef that then comes right out around a fair way across there. So we actually went snorkeling on that reef when we got here last night, and it was just teeming with fish, just absolutely beautiful. So we'll probably try and get some footage of that because there's just fish everywhere. So we have had our couple of days in Denham, sort of catching up and stocking up on supplies. I did a bit of work for the electrical system in the canopy. We did a trip down to the shark feeding, the aquarium just south of Denham. So that was pretty cool. The kids absolutely loved it. You know, seeing all the fish being fed and all the different sorts of fish that they've got there. Came up here yesterday and it's a bit of a soft road up here, so you're not allowed caravans, but camper trailers and rooftop tents only. Yeah, we made it all the way up here pretty well in high range. We had our tyres down to sort of about 25 on the back and 20 on the front and 20 on the camper trailer. But yeah, we got to about 5k from our campsite, and that obviously wasn't quite low enough, and it pulled us up. So we just dropped down to put 15 in the back and 10 on the front and on the camper trailer. And you know, in those sorts of situations, when you know you're defeated, you pull up straight away. And so by letting the tyres down, it just, you know, rocked it backwards and it popped straight up on top, and we're away again without too many dramas. Yeah, then, you know, got into our campsite. So yeah, we pulled in here sort of about 2:30 and sort of set up and went for a swim and a snorkel, and it was just an absolutely beautiful evening. Yeah, it was really nice, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Daddy caught a fish.
Yeah, Dad went and caught us a bit of dinner.
Found it, Mum.
Oh, there's an egg down there. How is there an egg down there?
So this morning we're just catching up on some schoolwork, catching up on a bit of work, but that sort of about rounds out our first week up here, and so we'll probably catch you then in the next video. Cheers, mate.